Buddha was dying. He said to his disciples, "Now I want to say goodbye to you all. My body is old and tired, and whatever I wanted to say, whatever I wanted to share, I have shared. I want now to go into the ultimate rest." Ananda was sitting on his right side, and he burst out in tears. And Buddha said, "Why, Ananda? Why are you crying? I am going into ultimate rest because there is no death for me." Ananda said, "You misunderstood me. I am weeping for myself that for 42 years I have been following you, but I have not become enlightened yet. What will happen to me when you are gone? And I don't think that in ages to come I will ever meet anyone of your caliber. You are leaving me in darkness that seems to have no dawn." Buddha laughed. Ananda said, "Why are you laughing? You laugh at strange moments." Buddha said, "Within 24 hours you will know. Once I am dead, within 24 hours your subtle ego will also disappear. It cannot disappear while I am alive." A subtle ego was active within Ananda. He was the elder cousin brother of Buddha, and until Buddha remained alive, this ego was not willing to disappear. It only disappeared when Buddha left his body. And exactly after 24 hours, Ananda became enlightened. He remained in the same place with closed eyes. He opened his eyes only when his eyes of the inner opened up. Try to understand the ego. Analyze it, dissect it, watch it, observe it from as many angles as possible. And don't be in a hurry to sacrifice it, otherwise, the greatest egoist is born. The person who thinks he is humble, the person who thinks that he has no ego. The subtle ego goes on playing such games that it is very difficult. One will need absolute awareness to watch it. Many times it happens that a person is serving the master in the ashram or in the monastery, and then that ego starts building up, that I am serving the master, I am cooking food for the master. So when you come to the ashram, you come with a certain goal that you want to attain enlightenment, that you want to know the beyond. But when you start serving the master, you forget about the goal, you forget why you have come, and you just get trapped in that ego. So people who are serving in the monastery or in an ashram, you will see that these people, they also become a victim of their ego. And that is exactly what Bhagavan says. Everything must be done in a hurry. Everybody has some train to catch. They visit Swami in a rush and want to carry away a parcel of liberation. They read something here and there and think they are quite learned. Before the people come here, everyone has the most sincere desire to work for his own liberation. But when they settle down, the ego goes to their heads and they forget why they came. They imagine they are doing me great service by feeding me and think altogether too much of themselves. The feeling of self importance that they have when they serve their Guru destroys their hope of enlightenment. Only humility can destroy the ego. The ego keeps you far away from God. The door to God is open, but the lintel is very low. To enter, one has to bend. Even if a trace of ego is left in the mind, it will rapidly increase and ruin your spirituality. So be aware of your ego, says the benevolent Bhagwan Raman Maharshi. Many times it happens that a certain person renounces everything, and then he goes on telling everybody that I have renounced all my properties, I have renounced all my cars, I have renounced everything that I had. So in a way, this subtle ego remains that I have done something. I have done something great. I have renounced. And this subtle ego becomes the hurdle. And the person never understands this. In his mind, in the back of his mind, even though he is living in an ashram, even though he has a long beard and he has become a monk, still that subtle ego remains that I have renounced everything. And this subtle ego, unless and until it is observed, it will continue to remain as an hurdle between you and your enlightenment. And that is the message of the Master, that try to observe this subtle ego, because it is only through observation that this ego will slowly fade away. You can only love when you are not filled with ego. But if you are full of your I-ness, how can you love? That I is the iron wall. That I is the safe in which you lock your love. If you want to expand your love, then you will have to break the wall of your ego and allow love to flow. And then you will stop saying that I have renounced, or I have done this, or I have done that. And then, as Raman Maharshi says, that the whole problem of human world is because human beings take the doership. I have done this, I have done that. The present difficulty is that the man thinks that he is the doer, but it is a mistake. It is the higher power which does everything, and the man is only a tool. If he accepts that position, he is free from troubles. Otherwise, he courts them, says Bhagwan Raman Maharshi. Unless and until you remain the doer, the problems will remain, the miseries will remain. The moment you say that I am not the doer, He is the doer, God is the doer. When you give the doership to God, then in the true sense, you start progressing in your life. Be fixed in the self and act according to nature without the thought of doership. Then the results of action will not affect you. That is courage and heroism. Then in the true sense, you succeed on your spiritual path. Give up the sense of doership. Karma will go on automatically, or karma will drop away from you, says the Bhagwan. So meditate on these words, and who knows, one of you may understand the essence of it. Enough for now. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.